Hey, how's it going, everyone? And welcome to episode number 2 of our brand new segment called Talking with Tangible. If you're unfamiliar with this segment, every single month we speak to a unique eye care practitioner and get the story about their practice and see how they're incorporating new technologies to help their patients. If you're unfamiliar with our products Tangible Clean or Tangible Hydra-PEG, we highly recommend going to our website and getting just a little bit of background information on those products prior to the interview. What we'll do to make it easy is we'll put a link in the description below. This month, we are very fortunate to speak with Dr. Aaron Wolf from the Austin Optometry Group in Austin, Texas. If you'd like to look up their practice after this interview, we're also going to put a link in the description below to their website, so please feel free to check them out. And without further ado, I'm going to forward it over to our amazing segment host, Kim Grizafi, and Dr. Aaron Wolf.
Hi, Dr. Wolf. Thanks for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm great, Kim. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. So we are happy to have you here on Talking with Tangible and would like to know a little bit more about your practice.
Yeah, sure. So I own a private practice in Austin, Texas. It was a two-doctor practice for a long time, and the doctor I bought it from retired, so I'm actually just a solo practitioner. I've got 6 staff. Practice has been here for we're going on 45 years, I think, next year.
Wow.
So it's a good sized patient base, kind of a largely aging patient base. But we're in central Austin, and so we're a good part of town, and kind of part of town that's kind of turning over a lot of kind of younger families. So we're starting to kind of see a little bit of a shift in our demographics, which is good. We're a bit on the larger size as far as practices go. We're about a little under 3,700 square feet in size. We've got 4 exam lanes with kind of room to grow, maybe 5, possibly 6 exam lanes in the future. Got pretty much all the equipment that you typically would want to have, as far as OCT, retinal camera. We've got 2 topographers. We're actually just ordered the scleral topographer. That'll be a third topographer. I'm pretty excited about that one. And my personal practice is set up that I do primary care 3 days a week, and then I do just medical eye care for half a day, and then I do just specialty contact lenses for 1.5 days. So I kind of find it works best for me if I don't kind of mix different types of visits throughout my week. I just like to kind of do all of one type of visit at a time, and then I kind of block my week off in that way. As far as specialty lens patients, we've got a little bit of our specialty lens patients, of course, are from our own practice patient base, but most of them are referrals from local corneal surgeons around town.
Well, that's awesome. And I know that you do some lecturing and you've been really active in your society. So has the sheltering in been kind of tough for you to sit at home?
So you would think so. I think I feel kind of guilty about it, actually, because of course it's a tough time. It's stressful business wise in some regards, and it's tough on a lot of people in a lot of ways. But I was kind of at the point where I was actually really starting to feel pretty burned out, and being able to close for a few weeks, that has allowed me not only to kind of catch my breath a little bit, but that's going to be an opportunity to kind of really look at my practice and see where I maybe could be doing things differently or more efficiently, or maybe kind of plan for the future. And really, I kind of was just kind of on that kind of a hamster wheel, right? And so this is kind of giving me a chance to kind of look back, and we made some really, really cool changes we're excited about, as I know a lot of practices have been doing during this time. So am looking forward to kind of getting back into a more normal, normal practice setting here in, next few weeks, of course. But, fortunately, it's really been mostly a blessing for me.
So I'm going to shift gears just a little bit and talk a little bit more about tangible Hydra-PEG. I was thinking about maybe 10 years or so ago when I was still in a practice, how plasma became sort of a standard of care for most GP patients. But of course, that was before tangible Hydra-PEG was born. So now that there is a choice for the surface treatment, how do you choose when to go to plasma or when to go straight to tangible Hydra-PEG?
Well, yeah, tangible Hydra-PEG, it kind of was probably the biggest game changer, the industry has seen in quite a while. So ultimately, for me, early on, I kind of just experimented with Hydra-PEG on a few patients, or used it as kind of an as needed basis. It really didn't take long, maybe a few months before, I was having the same experience that a lot of doctors were having, and just finding that there really wasn't a case in which Hydra-PEG was not beneficial or somehow detrimental. So very quickly, it just kind of became just an immediate lens add-on. So essentially, as far as Hydra-PEG goes, everybody just gets Hydra-PEG. So I usually explain it to the patient in kind of the same way that I typically explain things like anti-reflective coating. It's probably true in a lot of offices. Our anti-reflective coating sales are really very high. It's 90+%. And that's kind of how our Hydra-PEG is. If the technology is there, I usually compare it to something like airbags in your car, or maybe like rear-facing cameras or something in some of the newer vehicles. Like, if the technology is there, um, there's really no reason not to do it. Okay, if it's going to make the lens more comfortable, it's going to keep them cleaner for longer, may extend the life of the lens. Why wouldn't you do it? So we just order it on everybody. We do have a few patients who they've been their lenses for a while, of course, prior to Hydra-PEG being available, and they're still doing great. And so on some of those patients, we just, we're still kind of going without it. But otherwise, everybody just gets Hydra-PEG.
So have you had the chance to try tangible clean yet?
I have, yeah.
Do you have?
So yeah, a lot of our corneal and scleral gastrin patients are still in some other kind of similar multi-purpose solutions, but a few of them I've switched over to the tangible clean, and then most of our new fits, we're just starting them off in the tangible clean.
So there are several ways a patient can get tangible clean. So how do you recommend to your patients to get it? Do you stock it or use a web store, or tell them to go to our website?
Right. So we actually have it on our web store, along with about 400 other products now. We actually have 2 online stores in my practice. So one is for eyewear selections prior to their visit. And then the other one is basically everything from contacts, contact lens solutions, dry eye therapies, vitamins, things like that. So the system that works great for us is that my staff registers all of our patients into the web store when they arrive. And then when I'm in the room with them, I review their, anterior segment photos or retinal photos or OCTs or, whatever it is, imaging that we've done for them. And I talk to them about what we're seeing, and then I can log in as an admin into the store and basically drop items into the patient's shopping cart for them. So I just do that with the patient, explaining each product, why I think I want them to use it, and I just drop it into the cart for them. So that all they got to do is essentially, when they go home, they just log in themselves and complete the checkout. So most of our products have an option to subscribe to the product. So if they just want to receive like an automatic shipment every month or every 3 months or whatever it is, depending on the product.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think that I'm not surprised that you're doing well doing it that way, because it's kind of genius. So I'm going to ask you one last question, kind of keep it fun. So your question is, if you could choose your superpower, what would it be and why?
Okay, my superpower, there's so many superpowers, and normally I think back at kind of some of our favorite superhero movies, especially the last few years. But I think one of mine might be actually maybe a little bit unusual, but it would be if I could breathe underwater. Because I started thinking about like um, like Waterworld and like Aquaman and like scuba diving and snorkeling and things like that. I think if I could breathe underwater and never have to come up for air, as peaceful as it is underwater, I think that that might actually be my superpower. And assuming that I could swim fast, that would be cool too.
That's a great answer, actually. One I would not have thought of, but I think it's a great answer.
I mean, if you've ever been scuba diving or snorkeling or something, and you just kind of want to, you get that feeling. I just wish I could stay down here. You know, uh, that would probably be my superpower.
Well, that's wonderful and a really great perspective as well. So, on that note, we're going to end this, and I will thank you again for your time. And I will invite anybody in the Austin area to come give you a visit at your new practice.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love that.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Kim.
Bye.
Bye.